Hello, everyone. I am Dawn Benninghove, your host for today's podcast on the Home Care Companion, and we have Amanda Metz with us here today. And Amanda, you've been with Companion Extraordinaire so long that everybody just thinks you and I have the same brain, right?
That is true. That is true.
So let's talk about your journey with Companion Extraordinaire. You started with us
12 years ago.
12 years, yep. And so at the time, let's talk about what you were doing with Companion.
So at the time, I was doing payroll. So I processed all the payroll. We had about 35 employees at that point, and we had one office. So we were all in the office in Ashland, and our 35 employees. So I processed the payroll and then just did administrative stuff as needed.
Well, she says administrative stuff, but boy, she is administrative person crazy. I mean, you are amazing at stuff. You've done our newsletters, you've done some of these podcasts for us, taping them and video recording them. And so I love calling you my one-armed paper hanger because you just do everything, Amanda, and you do it well, which is pretty incredible.
Thank you.
So you became a personal care aide. You went through the course at Companion. What year was that?
I believe it was 2013. July of 2013 is when I graduated as a PCA.
And who were your instructors?
Miss Betty was my instructor.
Betty Brady, which we love. Miss Betty has retired now, but we just love Miss Betty. And you went through that course, and then you have taken care of some clients out in what we call out at their homes as well.
Absolutely, yes. So when I initially went through the course, I did not want to take care of clients in the home. But something just changed after I had children and realized, you know what? Everyone is a human being and they all need and deserve to be taken care of the same way. So I love it. I love going out in the field and meeting our clients and seeing them and be able to provide for them. And it's also helped a lot with my grandmother because we provide a lot of care for her. So that's a 24/7.
And she lives in the home with you and your mom.
Yes.
And the children.
Yes.
So, and dog?
Yes.
Yes. So we have a big family.
It's a full home.
Yes. So, and I know you've shared occasionally some of those stories, and you really do understand, like when families call in and need care, you're able to say, I understand what you're going through.
Right. And we moved her up here almost 5 years ago. And she is in the end stage of Alzheimer's, and it is challenging every single day. So I understand what these families feel when they realize that this isn't their parent or this isn't their grandparent or whoever it is, because this is not the woman I knew when I was 10 years old. She doesn't even know who I am at this point. I'm her cousin or her sister, or just somebody who lives in the home. Sometimes I'm just, who's that girl?
You're just that person sometimes making her eat when she doesn't even want to eat.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a tough road, and I know that's been hard for both you and your mom, and it's just I admire you and how much you've grown. In enjoying being out with clients, and your confidence. When I say you've grown, your confidence, because that's what we saw is right at first. I'm not sure you knew that you could do well at it, and you like to do well at everything.
Yes.
So, but people just love you when you go out. You have clients who actually ask for you and say, can Amanda come and do this? Can Amanda take me here, take me there? And you have such a rapport with them. It's beautiful to see. And then from your personal care aide course, you've gone on and went through school for certified nursing assistant, right?
I have. I graduated last July, and I'm actually getting ready to sit for my boards. So COVID kind of threw a wrench in everything, but by golly, we're getting it done.
Yes.
So my written will be this weekend. So I'm excited about that.
Excellent.
That off my plate.
So let's talk about that for just a minute about how COVID did interrupt. If I recall, it took you 8 months to get your clinicals concluded because of COVID, right?
It was actually longer than that. So I started taking the course in March of 2020. And because of COVID, all of the facilities were shut down. So I actually did not conclude my clinicals until July of 2021. So it was 15 months.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. So, but you stuck to it. You never let it go. And so we know you'll pass. So I'm not worried about that. So we'll be celebrating you next week when we find out about that. But in addition, you're also in nursing school.
I am. So I finished all of my prereqs, and I am actually going to be starting nursing school in the fall.
Awesome. Awesome. Yep. And you'll be a tremendous nurse. Now, the thing of it is, we all wonder where you get your energy, because you never sleep practically, because we get emails and notes from you at 2:00 in the morning, and you've got 2 children who are incredibly talented and gifted and amazing children. And then all that you do at Companion, and then sitting for your CNA boards because of the extension with COVID. You would have had this done a long time ago had it not been for COVID. And then now starting nursing school. So it is pretty amazing to see you work when you do that. Now, recently, just probably about a year ago now, you got another promotion at Companion. And I say another because you have practically done every single job there is to do at Companion. But you became the manager over a new division that we made official. We heard Ann Pryor talk on a previous podcast about care management. And so why don't you tell our listeners about that new role that you've taken on and what you hope to do in this position?
Okay. So I took on a new role for care management. Initially my title was community care manager, and it will be just switching to care services manager, but basically doing the same thing. So I oversee the appointments that our clients have. If I have to attend, then I go with the client. If we have to transport them, making sure that the notes get back in, making sure that we're billing correctly, any supplies that they need, making sure we're getting that, and making sure that the doctors are communicating, because that's one of the biggest things in healthcare today is left hand doesn't know what right hand is doing sometimes. And so, just kind of being that middleman and being able to make sure that everybody is on the same page and that the client is getting the proper care.
Well, you've also done even more, Amanda. You have pulled together a resource guide for seniors of all of the facilities in the area, as well as all the home cares, but you've also vetted quite a number of companies. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay. So we decided we wanted to have some companies that Companion could say, hey, this is a really good company, or that one of us had actually worked with before. So we got together and kind of brainstormed together as a team and said, okay, these are the companies that we've worked with. So we called and just made sure that it was okay, that we put them in our resource guide to just make sure that, that they're getting our level of what Companion is all about. So the level that we would offer as a company, we want other companies to offer that level as well.
Okay, when you say what level, let's define that. What do you mean by that?
As far as I'm concerned, Companion gives excellent care. And I want to make sure that our clients, as well as caregivers or anyone else that uses those resources, get the same kind of care or customer service that Companion would offer to them.
Excellent. Well, you've also spearheaded, when you talk about making sure the caregivers get the same kind of service, you've also spearheaded being able to make sure that our staff has an opportunity for, like we work with a couple of realtors so that our aides are able to get that best deal, if you will, on buying a house. We've had many who've bought their first home through a couple of realtors that we know. And what do they call that little bit of first responders or...
So they get a discount. The one realtor that we work with offers him a 10% discount on his fees because of them being frontline workers. So that's really exciting. He recognizes our military and our nurses and people that are on the front lines. So that's always been very exciting. And our aides have used him multiple times to be able to get homes or figure out what they need to do to get a home. Maybe it's they need to have some credit counseling and get some credit cards paid off. So he's always been there and led them in the right direction of where they can get those resources.
And speaking about that, Companion is getting ready to offer a course, a 9-week course, to our aides on how they might pay down their debt or save. Yes. How they may begin to save so that not just a home, but any of the big purchases that they might want to make long term, right?
Right. And that's always been what when we do surveys, one of the biggest things that comes back is our aides are interested in budgeting and credit counseling and being able to take care of themselves long term.
All right. So let's sort of wrap all this up together because you and I could just talk for days actually on Companion since we've been together for so long at Companion. So Amanda, you do talk to many of the applicants that we get, and you have to tell them about Companion, and they're always asking, why should I work there? What's it about Companion? So what do you tell them? What do you tell the applicants that call?
I always tell them from my heart. And I tell them that, I had a baby and left Companion for a little bit and came back, but you don't come back to a job that you don't love. We've had care providers that have been with us for 15 years. I let them know that, we don't manage by telling people what to do. We get right in there with them. And you being the same way, Dawn, I've seen you go in and heels and pearls and get right in there with them. And that really does set us apart. There's not many managers or owners for that matter, particularly in home care, that do that. A lot of times they don't even know who their owner is. They're not even a participant in the business. And the fact that you are a participant daily in the business really does set us apart. And so that's what I tell them. You're just coming into somewhere that is run differently.
Well, it's run differently because of wonderful people like you who are a part of our team, and not just in the office, but out with our clients as well. So we thank you so much for being with us and for being with Companion as long as you have been. It's just been such a joy.